In this video, I'll be taking you through a self-mobilization technique designed to target restoration of internal rotation at the hip. For this technique, we're going to be utilizing the half kneeling position. The leg in which we choose to mobilize will be in front of the body. We'll need to make sure that the trail leg is in line with the trunk and the lead leg is at a 90-degree angle at the knee and the hip. Here's a little self-test that you can use to determine the degree of internal rotation you have in your lead leg. You'll set up a camera behind you and ensure that the lower leg is in line with the hip on both the trail and lead legs like I'm showing you in the video here. Place your hands on the top of your hips and observe for any degree of height difference between your left and right sides. Once noted, we're going to switch sides and repeat the same process. When switching sides here, don't forget to realign the lower extremities prior to observing for any degree of height difference between left and right sides in this new position. So if you're unsure as to what you're looking for, here's a couple still shots from the self-check pre-test video you just watched. Now basically what we're looking for here is to see if the lead leg hip is higher than the trail leg hip. This would indicate that we potentially have an internal rotation loss on the lead leg. In this particular photo, you can see that the right hip is missing more internal rotation than my left, as represented by the right hip being higher while kneeling in this particular position. So let's have a look at this mobilization technique. Remember, the lead leg is the hip that we'll be mobilizing. So we're going to use the alignment we talked about and put hands on the hips. We'll elevate the hip and then we'll press it towards the floor. So we're self-leveling here is what we're attempting to do. For some individuals, this may be very difficult, but it should never be painful. If they can't move in this position, you have the option of trying to elevate the opposite side. And when you do, you notice that you'll bring up the other side of the pelvis and the hips will level out a little bit. So from here, you try to repeat, and you'll notice that I move more freely with my left hip elevated. And now I can drop my right hip further into internal rotation. Make sure that the trunk is always facing forward. And if the individual still continues to have issues, you can progressively raise the trail leg until you find a point that provides maximum movement and is comfortable to the individual. You'll notice here that I can get my pelvis very level and I can move things in a very controlled manner.